Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and today we will continue our journeys through Dagorlad, and more exactly we will be going to Ondoher Folly, also known as the Fane of Screaming, which is a disturbing name. So let us see what that means. Start going there. Mornwood. Okay, great. Let us take it. How are we going as far as extracts is concerned? Yeah, we're even. That's great. Just gotta keep it even then. I think we should really be removing these roving threads from the quest log. We're not doing anything with this right now, and they are taking space that we might need. Now let us try and look for an entrance. Somewhere around here. Alright. Okay, here we are. Ondoher Folly reeks still of blood and death, even after all these years. Discovered Ondoher Folly, yeah. But where's the entrance? I mean, I'm trying to follow the path that I saw on the map, but that didn't work. Oh, great. Just right now, where do I need to go then? Where's the entrance to this place? Jumping! Whoa! Oh! Injury. Now, Ondoher Folly would also have its own Slayer deed. That much I remember. I might not remember how to access this place, but I do remember the Slayer deed. Okay, here we are. You did, Foe's Slayer of Ondoher Folly, yeah. Told you. Who's attacking? Yeah, you die. Thank you. What do we have in here? Another quest. An acrid scent permeates the air as you explore Ondoher Folly. The orcs of Mordor have seemingly left the remains of their sacrifices strewn about the encampment to rot. A burial within the lands of the enemy seems an unlikely task, so you resolve to burn the dead before the orcs can further dishonor them. What little is left of them, I should say. Banner of the Eye, this should be a new quest too. As you enter Ondoher Folly, you hear the familiar rustling of coarse cloth in the wind. The orcs of Ondoher Folly have erected many banners in tribute to the Dark Lord. Standing beneath this grim heraldry, you feel the eye of the enemy fixed upon you, and suddenly the weight of your cause at once feels more burdensome. You think it wise to burn these banners you have discovered, so the orcs might falter in their absence. Alright. And we got the Slayer deed, 50 of them. So I think we do this right, we might be able to complete the first tier of the Slayer deed as well. Just what we did at Doom Boha. I mean, we're basically do a third of that deed just completing this quest alone, so I think we should be okay. Oh, really? How big is your range? I mean, that was a lot. My suffering is finally over. Yeah, get yourself to safety, look for the rangers. I don't think you will be willing to go to the Black Gate, but sure they can find something for you. Would you please? Yeah, that's it. Where else do we go? Okay. Another captured man in here. What do we have here? As you explore Ondoher Folly, an unusual sight drifts into view. In the distance, the shifting shade of a Gondorian warrior floats around the temple hill, seemingly beneath the notice of all nearby orcs of Mordor. It isn't clear if this shade is a cursed man of Gondor or a fell spirit holding a form familiar to you, but something compels you to investigate. Alright. Yeah, I can see. Oh. Really? Stop it. Can you see him trying to find this guy? Ancient weapon, okay. A relic of the last alliance. Finally. Okay. Let us see what else we can grab in here. We have a captive. I can still hear their screams. What about you? Yeah, you too can hear their screams. Okay. It was a sorry fate that befell those slain at Ondoher Folly, but no longer can the orcs of Mordor defile and mock them in death. Thank you, friend. Once again, get yourself to safety. Run away as fast as you can. This is a sick view. I mean, it's twisted, it's perverted, it's disturbing, it's so many things. Okay, here we have some more of these banners of the eye we need to burn. Starting to wonder where they were. Because there's a lot of them that we need to burn. Yeah, there you go. Can you see any more banners? I'm just trying to find them. Did I really one-shot the Defiler? Great. Alright, one more banner. Where can that banner be? I don't know. I must get out of here. Remove this one. Banner of the Eye. Okay. Okay, there it is. There it is. Although burning the enemy's banners can do little to avenge the fallen at Ondoher's Folly, it serves to loosen the Dark Lord's grip on the lands beyond Mordor. By weakening the enemy's resolve, the orcs of Mordor may pose less of a threat to the host of the West when the battle is finally joined. Alright, now just gotta find the accursed warrior that we were supposed to be looking for, but I have no idea where he went. These guys in here have respawned. All of them. They keep insisting with their friggin' disarms and everything. Don't do that. You really don't need to do that. Where is this guy supposed to be? Where did he go? Just gotta keep circling the hill, it seems. They bite me. Can't see him. I don't know where he went. I don't want to spend a lot of time looking for him, but ah, there he is. It's coming this way. Let me take a picture of the shade now that we have finally found him. And no. Where are you supposed to be going? You approach the shade and attempt to speak with him, but it does not respond. His gaze remains fixed directly ahead of him, and he almost seems unaware of your presence. Amid the sounds of nearby orcs, the shade begins to shriek in a harsh tone. Father, I am sorry. Forgive me, I beg you. Brother, Artamir. Do not stay silent. Father will hear your words. Just as swiftly, the shade falls silent again. His words still fresh in your memory, the shade floats silently before you. The shade wailed the name Artamir and spoke as if Artamir were his brother. Without pausing to consider the absurdity of what you are about to speak, you tell the shade that a man named Artamir is among your company in the ruins to the south. A puzzled expression washes over the shade's face, and his gaze swiftly shifts to meet your own. However, before speaking a word, he vanishes. Okay. Well, he didn't vanish. That just gave us the time for some extra picks. Hey, you know what? If we find an exit out of this camp, we might go for for some of those herbs, mushrooms that we need to find. Completed. Foes layer of Ondoher's Folly. Yeah. Told you that was gonna happen. Really nice that we can get this kind of deeds done. Some easy, fast completions. The advanced tier might take a little bit of extra work, but I'm not sure if we will be able to get those done before we finish our time in the Wastes, but we should be able to advance, get really close to it. Now I think after you, there's like some imaginary line dividing the Wastes in half, and you can only find flowers on the western half of it. From what I remember, there are no flowers in here, as you can see. I just mash my delete key, nothing happens. Bone mallow. Okay, here we have more flowers again. Yeah, they don't grow in some of the locations of the West, as I think, where big battles have taken place. Mushroom. Alright, gotta find a couple of these. And some violet extracts as well, to keep things even. Yeah, I'm not looking for Red Skull precisely. If you could help me find the mushrooms. Like this one, yeah, thank you. Okay. The last one's in here. Does that mean the blasted soil is gonna be to the west? No. Oh no. No. It's to the south. My bad. Anyway. Let's actually go back to the guys at Dagorlad. Enjoying the awesome soundtrack of the Wastes. Okay, here we have the deal we completed. Foes layer of Ondoher's Folly. There's 100 of those guys. So once again, just a couple more visits to this place and we should be basically done. They only have 2 tiers, right? Because this seems way too easy, but I don't remember if they have any more tiers beyond advanced. God, I hope they don't. But I will need to check that later. Roving threat. Yeah, I know Tumus is in here. I'm not gonna fight him. He's too much for me right now. I hate to admit that, but I don't see how we can defeat a guy like that. So, not doing that. Not doing that. You have done well, my friend. With this accomplished, the orcs at Ondoher's Folly should no longer pose a threat to the host of the West or to any that still remain in their thrall. Let us hope it was enough, Beriathan. Let us hope indeed. You say a spirit of some kind knew my name, Beriathan? That he called out for an Artamir? I have had quite enough dealings with spirits for my liking, I'll have you know. There must be some mistake. You see, it is common in Gondor to honor our ancestors by bestowing their names upon our children, and even within Minas Tirith I know no fewer than 2 others bearing my name. If I am recalling correctly, I even once told you of old King Ondoher's son named Artamir. No. That man cannot be me, my friend. How long has this spirit lingered in the wastes? How many have fallen since he met his own end? Artamir begins to trail off as a look of horror appears on his face. Do not move, Beriathan! The accursed warrior has appeared beside Artamir and stares intently at the lore master. The shade stares at you but remains silent. After a moment, he turns to Artamir and begins to speak. Beware the shadows on Dol Acharn. The Wainriders come again to claim vengeance on Gondor. So what do you mean exactly? Wainriders! They have not been a threat to Gondor, much less seen at all, for hundreds of years now. Perhaps this spirit has mistaken the Easterlings for their old ancestors, else I cannot say. To have silently watched for so long, it is possible he has lost his understanding of the passing peoples and creatures of these lands. Artamir's face still betrays his fear, but you sense a renewed resolve rising within him. Fate and chance drove me to the Dead Marshes, and now they have guided me thus. I shall resist them no longer. I may not be the man the spirit speaks, but his knowledge of these lands and our enemies may be turned to our benefit. I believe I know the spirit's identity, my friend, but more questions still linger, and answers seem unlikely unless he and I speak alone. As I said, I have many suspicions about the identity of the spirit, but those shall remain mine alone until I learn more of the spirit's purpose. If you and the rangers would grant me leave, I shall follow where he leads and learn what I can of him and his fate in the wastes. Think what he may have seen, such experiences are beyond the life of any mortal man. Talk to Minkham and see what he makes of this. I have heard tell he is no stranger to spirits of the dead. If he grants my request, I would ask that you, and you alone, follow us to the north after a short time. I shall speak well of you to him, and perhaps he shall be more willing to speak to you directly. That is my hope, Beriathan, for safety seems so far away now, and I would much like to return to it. Alright, we'll bring your message to Minkham, of course. Let us hope we have freed the last of those held in the wastes, Beriathan. I mourn for those who were too late to save, but I would hope that the Dark Lord shall soon suffer the fate he deserved for these atrocities. I do not doubt the enemy still keeps many slaves beyond the Black Gate, but we must look to the battle ahead before we can aid them. Thank you, my friend. A spirit, here, in the ruins. I fear this shall not portend any good at all, and I would caution Artamir to put the safety of the host before his own misguided studies. It may be true that the spirits of the dead that followed Aragorn were honorable enough when they fulfilled their oaths, but do not forget those who lost when they felt no such duty. If one has been cursed by the breaking of an oath, you should not assume them a friend. We of the Great Company have learned this all too painfully. I shall not stop him, but I hope he considers the great risk he would impose on all of our company. Minkham worries that spirit may endanger the host of the West. You could say yeah, he has good reasons to fear, but let us hope Artamir knows what he's doing. Artamir and the accursed warrior have vanished. So now we need to look for them. How far are they? Not that far, really. We're going back to Ondoher Folly, it seems. Yeah, there we go. You have found Artamir and the accursed warrior outside Ondoher Folly. Well, his name has already been revealed, but that should come like this. I had to follow where he led, Beriathan. Steward Denethor would have commanded it if he still lived, and I cannot abandon his task now. I sensed that the rangers would not wish me to go, so I sent you to hold their attention as I departed. I apologize for the deception, but you must understand the significance of the man we have encountered this day. As I suspected, he is none other than Faramir, son of Ondoher. How capricious of fate that I should find a Faramir here amid the wastes when I so recently bid a farewell to Steward Denethor's son in the Houses of Healing. Artamir looks around with a sense of wonder, but soon meets your gaze again. Faramir, son of Ondoher, met a grim end here in the wastes, but perhaps more tragic, he was never meant to journey to these lands at all. King Ondoher and Faramir's brother Artamir rode to repel the forces of the Wainriders in the wastes, but they were caught unprepared and vastly outnumbered. They were soon aided by a company of Northmen, but even still their forces were slain on the fields and driven into the dead marshes. Amid all this, Faramir was bidden to remain in Minas Anor when Minas Tirith was still called as such. But he defied his father's wishes and secretly rode to join the Northmen as they rode southward towards the battle. Thus, Ondoher and his two sons met their end in the wastes. As with so much of Gondor's history, there is much more to be said on these events, but I would prefer to tell it when we return to Minas Tirith. The air here has left my throat quite dry indeed. In the meantime, Faramir has told me much of what he has seen in recent days, and I must admit, it gives me great concern for the host of the West. It took some great effort on my part, but I have convinced Faramir to trust you with his burdens. You should speak to him and learn how we might aid both him and the host. Ah, he was... Okay. In all the years I have wandered these lands, I have never learned of the true fate of my brother. When I awoke from what I learned to be my death, I saw a great force of Wainriders moving westward and then southward, but I could not follow them from these lands. Did my brother stand against them? Did he fall as I did? Search the low lands to the west of this hill. If my brother fled the battlefield alive, he would have taken such a path. If not, perhaps he too has been cursed. Please do this for me, Beriathan, and tell me if you discover any sign of him. I must learn the truth of his fate. I must admit, my friend, I am still vexed by Faramir's insistence on the threat of Wainriders upon the battle plane. The Wainriders have not been a threat to the people of Gondor in over 1,000 years, and yet Faramir speaks of them as a foe with which we shall soon contend. The might of the Easterling clans has diminished much since their earlier, more unified days, and it seems unlikely to me that they have suddenly reforged a kinship that broke over many long years. He has asked to speak with you, and I do not doubt his words shall again concern the Wainriders. See what you make of these claims, Beriathan. The Wainriders are dead and gone, but so too was Faramir, son of Ondoher. If you are to survive long in this land, Warden, you must first learn the history of the Wainriders as I and my father once did. The hatred between Gondor and the Wainriders is a tale of fathers and sons. Our lands were stolen and reclaimed through the passing of the years, but the Wainriders shaped the line of kings in a way that no other foe could equal. After losing his own father to their hordes, King Kalimethar, father of my father, rode against the Wainriders in vengeance. With the help of the Northmen, he devastated their ranks, broke their wains and chariots, and slew them upon the hill to the east, a hill which came to be known as Dol Acharn. Such a victory brought peace to Gondor for many years, and Kalimethar never again had to contend with the Wainriders before his death. Peace, such as it is always short-lived. Kalimethar's son and my father, King Ondoher, was forced to meet them in battle. Alas, you are aware of the loss Gondor suffered as a result. Artamir here has told me much of the days that followed the king's death as well as my own. He tells me that the Wainriders made camp to the southwest, but were ambushed and slain to the last by a vast army under the command of a man named Earnil. He claims that the Earnil soon became king of Gondor, even in the face of the claim made by my sister's husband, King Arvedui of Arthedain. What tales he has told me of these new days. But now the past has risen to confront the present. Fate is a curious thing, Beriathan, is it not? You see, the Wainriders have been stirred from their long rest, and I believe your host has riled the evils that lingered upon this plain. Even now, they ride from the east, and their might is no less swift or terrible than it was in days past. You speak the impossible. Such things cannot be. They cannot, and yet they are, Artamir. These are times unlike any I have known. This cannot be. If the Wainriders again roam the battle plain, they may meet the host of the west on the field. Their hatred will not have dulled with time, and they shall strike at those that bear the king's banner with a vengeance renewed. We must bring word to Ondoher, and soon. Okay, but first, we gotta search for signs of Artamir. Here to the west. Let us go. Eye of Night. Cool. Some Evanglim here. Yeah, how fitting. The Eye of Night is found at nighttime, of course. Because I don't remember seeing any Eye of Night at daytime. Anyway, here we are back at the marches. And alright. Here we have some things to check. What's this? You notice a footprint, but by its shape and size, it seems to have been made by an Uruk-hai. Slain orc. An orc lies in the shallows of the marshes, but appears to have been dead for some time. Well, glad he is dead. You see, at night time you start finding more and more of these Eyes of Nights, Mournwits, and everything. We are really uneven now. We are very far behind for violet extracts. What's this? The murky water of the dead marshes churns violently. Abandoned bow, okay. A bow of ranger make rests on the ground and its wit is warped and swollen. Alright, back to Faramir now, it is. Some extra flowers along the way. Will be really useful. There we go. back with Faramir and Artamir. Let us see. In all my time here, I could not face the truth of my fate. Father and Artamir have found the peace they deserved in death, but I deserve not such comfort. Father laid his curse upon me, and I do not think ill of him for it. I felt him as a son and heir, and I shall remain alone and bound to this land far longer than it took me to realize my folly. I thank you for offering the truth to me, sorrowful as it may be. It is time you learned of the greatest insult dealt against me and my family. When my father fell on the hill above, his banner was paraded by the Wainriders and the orcs as the rest of his company fell. Our foes chased them as they fled into the marshes, and for many years I saw naught of my father's heraldry. Not long ago, a man returned to the hill bearing the banner, but it had changed. Age had worn it thin, but what remained was perverted into something between the familiar and the horrid. With the banner unfurled, he called forth the first of the slaves the orcs had captured in Ithilien, and one by one they tortured and beheaded them beneath my father's banner as the others watched. After all were slain, the bodies were defiled in such terrible ways. I cannot speak them. This man dishonors the memory of my father Ondoher and twists it to suit his own cruelty. His name is unknown to me, but the orcs must know it well, for they avert their eyes in his presence. If you wish to aid me, learn what you can of this man and free the poor men that have fallen into his hands. The slaves and prisoners are drawn by cage wagons to the hill along the road partway to the east. Okay. Not that far away. Yeah, here we have it. One of these cage wagons. Oh, there's another cartwheeling here? No. The Bloodletter doesn't need to know the slaves are vaulted on the way. We'll bring you to Faltar Shik instead. You'll make a fine sacrifice, and I'll eat what's left of you when the master is finished. Burudagath will find you, man. Alright, we got an aim. It seems this orc was also coming for me. Burudagath the Bloodletter has the blood of the true men, not like these weak slaves. They fell easily, and now so will you. Yeah, think again. The Bloodletter wants the cages returned to Urun to bring more slaves. Yeah, not on my watch. Master Burudagath said more sacrifices, so you'll have to do. And there you go. And we have a name now. But we're also really close to the area for Milgamel's quest. Let us see if we can find some of it here. Is this the place for the blasted soil, maybe? Blasted soil, yeah. Maybe we can pick this up without entering too much into the Slack Hills. Yeah. Just need to gather some water from it. But we'll come back here later, so we're gonna leave that part of the epic for later too. Let us go back to Faramir and Artamir yet again. Oh, Mordor jailers again? Burudagath will find you. Yeah, I would like to see him try. I would like to meet him actually. There is some reckon to be had. Some reckoning. The orcs slaughter them in their cages, like beasts. How horrid! Our foe may be of Númenórean blood, but he is no man. Burudagath the Bloodletter. Who would hold such a title willingly? If he is the true master of Ondoher's Folly, the host of the West should remain vigilant. You lose so many at Ondoher's Folly, but still their numbers do not dwindle, and this Burudagath seems to hold sway over them all. Mayhem learned from orcs and evil men that the enemy wishes us to come to the Black Gate safely, but how can such words be trusted now? Rules or not, my friend, I believe only one course remains. A man of true Númenórean blood to have survived so long in Mordor. This is unthinkable, Beriathan. If he is responsible for the fates of those at Ondoher's Folly, he is also a danger to the host of the West. I still am not certain what to make of Faramir's claims about the Wainriders, but I would not dismiss them so carelessly. We must send word at once to the rangers at Head Under and ready ourselves for what may come. I have outstayed my welcome in these lands, I think. I have found my mind unsettled and my thoughts drawn to my own death. This is no place for one such as me, Beriathan. Twice you have felt me to realize my own peril, and I hope I shall not have need of a third opportunity. As much as I desire to spend more time speaking with Faramir of his life, our duties are to the host of the West, and it's my duty to no longer impede them. All we have learned for the foes we now face, it goes beyond my knowledge and beyond my skill. Those who left behind at Head Under, though, they could stand against them. Let us return there and tell them of what we have learned. I shall ride as swiftly as I am able, and I would ask that you do the same. Without your voice, I fear they shall not heed my warnings. So yeah, we're going back to Head Under, as you have seen. But, I mean, this is the perfect chance, I guess, to go back first to the camp of the host and gather some of those rep items from there. And some of those barter items too. Let us see how much the grinding in advance, how much time have we saved by doing that. Really curious about that.
Well met.
All right. So.
Well met.
This is all we have. Yeah, we have enough room in our inventory for this. So, I'm gonna take all this. It's taken a while, but Christ, this is a lot. I hope, I don't know, how much reputation can we get from it? And either way, this seems to be... This looks like it's going to be a whole lot of clicking for bartering and for using the rep items. So I will most likely not do this on camera, but I still wanna do the math with you and see how much rep can we effectively get by bartering all this. So now that we have all these items with us, let's go back to Ondoher. Minkham and Laglo look at once relieved and troubled by your return. Where have you been, Beriathan? Where are the others? You have returned to us so late, Beriathan, and I am afraid you have much to answer for in the eyes of Captain Amborn. Artamir's errand may have endangered our entire cause, and for what? The chance to speak to Spirit? His foolishness may cost us more than time. You see, we returned to Ondoher after you departed and spoke to Amborn of your efforts to rescue Artamir from his delusions. He thought long on the matter and then chose his course. You must understand, my friend. Amborn sent an entire company to find you and Artamir on the battle plane. You have returned, but we have heard naught from them. You express regret at the effort put forth to ensure your return, but urge Laglo to understand that you have come with grief tidings about the foes lurking in Dagorlad and the coming battle with the Dark Lord at the Black Gate. I see. But Amborn has requested your presence at once upon your return, so I leave those matters to him. You have kept Amborn waiting long enough. If these tidings are as grave as you say, he shall want to hear of them as well. Okay, let us not delay and tell him then. Beriathan, I am glad you have returned to us. Yet I must disagree with the course Artamir and you have taken. Such reckless actions could have led the enemy to Ondoher or endangered the entire host. But they have not, and for that I am grateful. Do not mistake my concern for anger, my friend, but I would urge you to dissuade Artamir from any other adventures he might think to embark upon. Given the length of your absence, have you returned with any news of our foes? You informed Amborn of the designs of the Black Númenórean Burudagath the Bloodletter, and warned him against possible encounters with more hostile fell spirits upon the battle plane. These are grim tidings, and they are made all the worse by the looming battle. I shall do what I can to prepare us should these evils come to Ondoher. As for you, my friend, I have a new task, one with which Artamir shall not be involved.
Let us hope you bring glad tidings, friend.
As Laglo told you, I sent 10 of my rangers to seek you and the Lord Master on the battle plane. They have not returned, and I would have you lead the search for them. They took the road eastward toward the Slack Hills and were to move northward onto the battle plane to search for you and Artamir between the hills. I would suggest you begin your search upon the battle plane itself. Let us hope the enemy's forces have heeded their master's orders and have not brought an ambush upon my men. When you find them, send them back to Ondoher by our safest spots. They will know the way. Okay. Alright. Yeah, they are all around the same area, so that should be simple enough. We don't have enough time for that today though. That we'll need to wait for later, but as I was telling you, I do want to check how much reputation we can get with the items that we have in here and how much reputation we already have. So, Host of the West. Oh god, this is gonna be a long time before we reach respected with them. But I'm not gonna worry about that for the time being. What we need here is this. Weapons, armor, and provisions. Okay. Now,
Morgul host must be defeated.
so this is the same for any faction that you choose. So this one, for example, will give you 5 of these items, so that's 500 points. Let me write this down. 500 points. How much is this? 490 of this times 100, that's 49,000 points. That's cool. And this 500 times 51. Gotta do that math. 5 times 50. That's 250. So that's 25,000. 25,500. So that's 26 and 49. That equals 75. So yeah, basically enough to max one faction. Oh god, just one faction. So yeah, I will need to check which one it's better to max out. I mean, I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference, and we are closer to maxing out the armor. So, but I mean, we don't want to put all our eggs on the same basket, because chances are we're still gonna find some more rep items, some more drops as we progress through the wastes. So maybe it would work better if we were to spread this evenly among these three factions. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, as I was saying, that's gonna take a lot of time to do, so I'm gonna save you the hassle, basically. So I'm gonna end the episode in here and be back with you on the next one after we have bartered all these items and when we are ready to go back to the battle plane. For the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.